Okay, so my time ran out and I felt really blessed because, woo, I kicked this over. Okay, so, yeah, my phone went out. We're working on solar panels right now. And just God just blessed me to happen to have this battery that's plugged in. And then God blessed me because, or the people that I call these people or this energy, they allowed the airdrop to work. And I that's not a mental health issue to say that. But there's something called electrical inhibitors. The United States Army does not use electrical weight scales because they can be manipulated. They use the manual scales, okay, to do the weigh-in, okay. So with any kind of an inhibitor or any kind of remote hacking or something, you can keep someone's airdrop or whatever. All right. So anyway, it worked, and I feel very grateful. So I'm just anyway, it worked, and I deleted. I have so many videos I'm talking, usually law of attraction, and I got rid of like a 20-minute video. So I'm gonna give myself 20 minutes. It's gotten like late. I usually, but anyway, let me just go on, and I'm just trying to set this up. Let me not worry about that. Okay, there. I didn't look at it anyway. We recorded for, we being you and me. We recorded for 3 hours, 4, almost 4. Yeah, I think maybe 4. Anyway, we're pretty blessed anyway. Thank you, God. So, okay, so I was sure I was all passionate. And they probably stopped it right at that time. But I don't know. But so all I was just trying to say is my ultimate point and why we have to save Sean. I keep saying Sean John, but Sean Combs, extraordinarily important. Because you must understand that this is the first generation where Blacks owned their own business. Now, in reality, there's another company above those record labels that are owning those companies in a sense and distributing, which means they get the money first. So you need to know that. If they keep the money from that record label, they're not going to get any money, okay? Now, and that's my understanding of it. They're all under these umbrella companies. So if you study the company, you realize, oh, they are a ward of the bigger company. Like the bigger company kind of owns that company in a sense or wards over it in a sense, okay? There are no Black companies, music labels that do their own distribution and are their own company, okay? That's what I'm saying. Now, I was trying to say, though, however, is that this is the first generation where Black people have millions of dollars and they have ownership of things. What I'm trying to say is they have nice houses, nice homes, nice bank accounts, rich kids. And I'm concerned that they're not being allowed to be old money, new money, because all of the power, that's why I say Blacks really don't have any power in America, seemingly, because all of their great pillars, Bill Cosby, Simmons, L.A. Reid, Babyface. Where's Babyface? We must support Babyface, make sure he has a nice home, because a lot of these artists are starving and they're suffering, and we're not helping them by putting them in our projects. A lot of times, the stars will be riding high, doing very well, being very successful. Everybody wants to enjoy that success. And when the industry turns against them, which is why they fall, like L.A. Reid, they didn't allow his music to chart in his independent company. They control the charts completely. They can control who charts. They own the charts. They can determine if a record sells. They determine the radio play. They determine all the distribution. Okay, so when L.A. Reid put together his independent company, they just shut it down. We're not distributing this. We're not charting your records. And so Reid is usually drops an album and it could just go to number 1. He noticed that the people weren't talking to him like they used to. They weren't paying attention to him. They weren't playing his stuff. They weren't giving him the play that they used to. And the record labels and this federal group, they can just shut anybody down. They can shut when they get ready to turn their back on an artist. It could be a white artist, a blonde artist, whomever. Okay. Like Hillary Duff, she was number 1. They have this ruler agreement. She's number 1 with a billion selling brand on Disney. and they made $1 billion on her, and the overall with everything, and her mom, who's her manager, decided to go in and say, since we made so much money this year, instead of the thousands that we were making or whatever it was that they made, we'd like to get a $5 million. We know that we sold many millions. The big power, the record labels and the music in the movie, they do not like to be told. They do not like to, they like to maybe be charmed or asked or maybe suggest. They do not like, because Suzanne Summer, same thing. What Hillary Duff's mom didn't know is that Suzanne Summer went in and asked the producers. She said, I'm number one here. I'm the number one person on Three's Company, and I want to be paid more. They took her part and minimized it from, she was just a third of the, minimized it to like 2 words in every episode. And she no longer could talk or associate with the, or influence the other groups to ask for more money. They separated her from the cast and said, you're going to shoot on this studio and you'll be on vacation in Hawaii making a phone call, and everybody else is going to shoot in the main studio. And then they replaced her once her contract was up. As long as her contract was on, she got to say, hi, how you guys doing? I'm in Alaska. And then they would talk and say something and say, okay, all right, I'll talk to you later, bye. And that was all her role. And then she had to go to Vegas and work her way back up again, okay? The big companies don't like to be told to give money, because they figure if this artist came in, the news will spread and every single artist will come in and say, hey, I made you 50 billion last year. I want 100 million. And they'll start suing those companies. So that's how they feel. So they don't want to be told. I do believe when they had their next star, Miley Cyrus, they paid her more, and they learned. They for one thing, with Hillary Duff, they learned they could make a mega star. And so once they started working with Miley Cyrus, they knew the steps to do that. They learned that from Hillary Duff. And yet, when it came time for other studios to sign Hillary, top #1 records and top #1 in acting, nobody signed. It's like an agreement that when an artist is dropped, that artist could be #1. No other record label will touch that artist. It's like an agreement across record labels. Another thing that they have is they'll take an artist, and the artist could be a pop artist. They'll have the artist release like a classical rock album that doesn't work. They'll put them on different kind of clothes and say this will work, and the album will tank and not do good, and then they'll drop the artist. They do that on purpose a lot also, because what they do is it's like burning the artist. So then that way other labels really will have no interest, because they want to drop that artist. And even when you have a top artist, sometimes they get dropped. It's almost like an agreement, and I'm running out of light here, so but it's almost like they'll have an agreement. So they didn't hire Hillary, so it's not a black and white thing. She's a top artist. You would think that other people would swoop in and start putting her in movies, but to me, all the rich, the very rich of all of these record labels and movie studios, they have an agreement that when they drop an artist, the other ones will not pick them up. Okay, now that's what it seems to me. Sometimes they do pick them up. It's extraordinarily rare that they do. I don't know why I got on that topic, but I was just saying that we talk about new money and old money. The black people are not being allowed to build their dynasty. Like I was saying, Cosby is a pillar in the community. We know it's become late here, but we know that Simmons is a pillar in our community. L.A. Reid and Babyface, we need to support them, make sure they have the legal representation they need, the money they need, because they're running out of money and they're running out of support, and everyone's kind of turned their back on them, because when people are doing very well, everyone is involved, and when the media turns their back on these artists, a lot of artists kind of separate themselves, because a lot of artists are struggling. They don't have the money that they appear to have, okay? and so a lot of them are not able to reach out and help. They seem to be doing well because their music videos and things look really flashy, but a lot of that money is being provided by the record label and being subtracted from the small amount of money that they're making. They're only making a real small amount. A lot of music artists aren't making a lot of money, okay? They make money on their shows, and now we know that a lot of that show money is being also is a part of the deal also. And in the acting world they have 360 deals, and in the singing world too as well, which I don't know that much about that. But lastly, you can make money by branding your name while you have the fame, and going ahead and making your own lotions, like on Etsy, making your own. You can sew your own clothes. You can add little elements to clothes and sell that. You can do so many things under your brand, and then go ahead and sell that, trademark your name. Okay, so and start your own business. So the last thing that I was just trying to say is that we're not being allowed, the Black people are not being allowed to build a dynasty. None of the Black companies or corporations are owned by Blacks anymore. They're all sold back to the whites, back to the white people, okay? I know this is seeing this lighting, okay? But my point is that all of the individuals who will be building these corporations, they're not here anymore, and all of our pillars are being knocked down. Today it's Sean. Tomorrow it's going to be other people. You, for instance. We have to, like the Jews in Germany. This could be like a Black producer millionaire holocaust is happening. Okay, well, that's how I want you to treat it, with the seriousness. Okay, and a lot of the kids say, we don't want to hear that Holocaust stuff anymore. Okay, but the thing the parents are saying, you need to remember. We need to tell you this over and over. The Blacks need to step back, though, and a lot of them are doing what the under the control of the same federal group that's coming after them, okay? And that's the truth. But the Blacks need to step back and see that every single pillar of this generation, from Bill Cosby to Michael Jackson to Prince, their names are being ran through the mud, and the rest are being man-axe slapped or murdered or killed, okay? They're not being able, like Bill Cosby would be teaching right now. They're not being allowed to have their dignity and their honor, and to come in and to teach the next Black generation, white generation, or whomever, and continue making money for these white groups too. There's soon going to occur a gap where Aaliyah's kids would have been Tupac's kids, the two little Black kids that had the very good upbringing from the Moesha show. All of these Black people, Left Eye's kids, there's a gap that's going to occur, where the white music labels are going to say, where's all the producers? Where's all the people making us all these billions? We were going to buy a yacht this year. We can't afford it. What's going on? Well, Michael Jackson's gone. There's nobody to fill his place. Aaliyah's gone. There's nobody to fill her place. Prince, gone. No one to fill. Why? And Willie Lynch talked about, don't kill the Blacks. Don't kill the Blacks. You traveled all the way to Africa to bring them here and spend millions of dollars, and they're worth a commodity to you. They'll have children. They are worth trillions of dollars. Stop killing the Blacks. Stop killing the Blacks. What he said was, which I don't agree with, is mentally manipulate them. That's what he said. I don't agree with that. And so, like, for instance, Frederick Douglass, he was taught how to read, okay? and he eventually, and so instead of killing him, because he attempted to escape, thanks to Willie Lynch's speech, what they realized, that's economically feasible and it makes a lot of sense. We're killing our own investment. Why don't we not do that? Frederick Douglass is one of those after that, and he went on to do very many great things for Black people. And it's a very good thing. And white people too, I'm sure. what I am saying is that we must save Sean, because he is the last link. He is the last link. If he wasn't the last link, they wouldn't be coming after him. So you have to know this group is intelligent. They're so intelligent that they have gotten the black community to turn around and take Howard University and all these that is the hub of black minds, and have them turn against Sean. Sean it takes a lifetime. It will take 100 years to create another Sean John. Sean John has come from the Michael Jackson era with the slavery and built everything up, built up, and into distribution, finally getting blacks where they own their own money. He's the only one. He's the only black talking about distribution. That's why they're coming after him. He is the last link. Because they're coming after all of the blacks and their children. It wasn't just Whitney Houston, it was all of her children too, except for like one. All of the strong blacks, they're gone now. They're off the face of the earth. Not all of them, of course, okay? And most especially in the entertainment industry. Do you know Michael Jackson would likely still be around? Still be black too. Because the blackness, he didn't change. That was this federal group that was changing his blackness. Because his skin color. Not that that matters. Because they didn't want him to be dark.